starts pressing a button. Okay, as for myself, and I'm not going to edit that out. You guys are going to get the behind the scenes on this one because I don't feel like editing this stuff out. I've been reading comic books, catching up on some that I had from the pull list that I've been setting aside. So I've been reading Star Wars: The High Republic. And man, I was so hyped about this comic book. I'm like, oh yeah, man, Yoda's younger now and stuff like that. And it's just a whole new level. Like honestly, Yoda's the only one that's in this world that we're familiar with. Um, but man, it's slow. It's so slow going, and I'm just kind of not having fun with it right now. So it's okay, but I'm gonna give it a few more issues before I take it off my pull list. But it is on the chopping block. It might be dropped off my pull list.
Is it actually Yoda or is it just a Yoda race? I'm
He
sorry.
has essentially made a cameo, and it is actually Yoda, but he's got like hair and he's younger. He still has a
Okay,
cameo, but
because
he's younger.
I was reading something about how Yoda pretty much goes to this planet and meets a creature that has the Force and pretty much trains him to wield the Force and stuff like that. Is that pretty much the same thing, or is it?
Well, I mean, no, I mean Yoda's lived for I don't know, like hundreds of years. This is he just makes a cameo on the I think it's called the Starlight base or something like that.
Uh,
This brand new base that this whole thing's gonna be wrapped around. Um, I don't know. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Jedi themed comic books. I think that might be the case because I can't stick with them for very long. So that might be the case. I'm also reading Thor right now, and it's Donny Cates Thor, and it's so freaking good. It was one of my comic books of the year last year, and it's still really good, and it's just got a nice little twist going right now. Uh, I I have kept up with what's going on with the Venom storyline, which is also Donny Cates, which is like his other big flagship thing he's doing right now. But I think I'm going to dedicate this week to just binging all King and Black books and catching up on the whole Venom thing that's going on right now with Donny Cates because it's like the Venom planet, and I'm just really excited about that. So Donny Cates can't do wrong right now. So he's such a good writer, and I'm hyped for that. That'll be good. Okay, let's get into the news. We had a real big one right off the bat. Superman reboot in the works. That means Henry Cavill is out. And right away, Daniel, you text me. He's like, "No, not my Henry Cavill." And so
yes, I did.
what are your thoughts on first off, let's go with what are your thoughts on Calvo being out of a job?
I'm I'm really disappointed because I honestly loved him as Superman, and I really wish that second film didn't happen because
Yeah,
it
Batman
just
vs Superman.
ruined him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just ruined him
Hmm.
and made him look like the bad actor. And uh, it's it's sad because I blame DC too because they were trying to push the film to compete with like Avengers
Yeah.
level of play.
Way too
So they're
fast.
just
Yeah.
yeah, way too fast. They hit it way too hard. They should have like kind of slowed down, made another Superman film, make sure Batman was good, then make a film, but not let's do Batman versus Superman and then let's make Superman be the villain and then make him look horrible. I honestly am disappointed in DC, and this is why they are failing in the movie section
Yeah.
compared to Marvel.
You nailed it on the head there with the they move too fast thing. It was irritating the fact that like, oh hey, we want to make an Avengers movie. Well, I mean, Marvel put in the work. There's Iron Man
Yeah,
1 and 2, there's the Thor standalone movies, the Captain so they set up their Trinity and
yeah,
they really kind of put in this work and built this world around it. And you just have it's hard for DC, I'm sure, because they're constantly being compared to Marvel, who has it down like a fine oiled
they
machine.
do.
So much so that it's predictable. But I
That's
love
great.
it, you know. And so it's a shame. It's a shame that it couldn't work out for Henry Cavill. I really like the actor as well. Of course, he's excellent in Witcher. Have you ever seen Tudors? He's in Tudors. That's kind of like the first thing I watched him in.
No, I have not seen it.
He's very good in that too, and he's very British in that, but it's really good. And then he's in Enola Holmes and stuff as Sherlock
Yeah,
Holmes.
and then MI6, Mission Impossible or whatever.
He's
He's the
in
villain.
Mission Impossible. He's really good in that actually, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping he has a chance at playing 007 someday. He's
Ooh,
in the mix, so that would be really
that would
cool.
be pretty awesome.
He's a better actor than people give him credit for, and so let's see if we
Yeah.
can't. So, okay, so according to the Hollywood Reporter, who's the one that broke the story on this, J.J. Abrams is producing the feature, which, according to sources, is being set up as a Black Superman story. So, they have J.J. Abrams is going to be producing, but novelist Ta Nahisi Coates is going to be doing the story. And we had an attempt at a black Superman a couple years ago with Michael B. Jordan. He was the one developing it, but it kind of fell through 2019. A lot of other things going on, so it kind of feels like this Michael B. Jordan is the slam dunk for this role because he's already been interested in it and he would be easy to get on.
Yeah.
He has the name power. He's not in the DC universe yet. We'll go into a little bit of which Superman this could be, but who do you want to play a black Superman? I've got my picks. I've got one particular that I really need.
All right. So I have 3 of them.
Okay.
I was thinking, well, pretty much Michael B. Jordan, right? Gotta say Michael B. Jordan.
I honestly think like
He's
that's gonna be like, oh, we need a crazy person. Okay, well then just go get, Nicolas Cage. I think if you want a good Superman, you get
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
And
Love
if
it.
you want, it depends on how they're gonna do the Superman. If they're gonna just start off with his younger version of that Superman that you're gonna talk about later on, uh, or if you want an older guy that it's already starting, he's already on Earth.
Mhm.
It really depends. But I was thinking Adis Hodge from Leverage,
Okay.
and then I was thinking Idris Elba
Yeah.
would be a
That's
good
a good
older
older. Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah,
That's
that's like an all-star version of Superman. I really like that idea.
yeah,
Yeah, the nice thing with so typically in the past, Superman is played by somebody who's lesser known, and actually that's kind of what I want. I want a kind of no-name actor to play Superman, and let's make them a star. But if you're gonna pick somebody who's already established, my pick is he played Manhattan from Watchmen. It's Yahya about. So by the way, that's spoiler alert that he's Watchmen, that is Manhattan. But Yahya Abdul Mateen, he is the husband to Regina King in Watchmen, and he's so when he played her husband, he's already like, oh man, this guy's got a good Clark Kent vibe. And I'm not saying that this is gonna be Clark Kent, but he's got that good kind of dad hanging out, vibe. And then once he becomes Dr. Manhattan, then it like switches. You're like, yes, that is a super, super powerful hero. And that's what you need in a Superman. Somebody that just exudes that kind of power. So I think he would be awesome at it. And I mean, you guys got to watch Watchmen if you haven't watched it yet. He's fantastic in it. Now, we have multiple options on what this could be. And of course, online, Twitter, it's a storm right now. Everybody try to not only cast this, and by the way, when we cast this character, it's just out of actors that we're excited for, and so we hope that you guys also voice, who you think would to want to play these roles and stuff like that on Twitter and stuff like that. So it could either be just a new Clark Kent, or it could be Calvin Ellis, who is a Black Superman from another Earth. My favorite thing, I'm going to read his full wiki page or wiki entry here. My favorite thing about him is he's also the president of the United States. Like, that is cool because it's a whole new story.
yeah.
I'm kind of tired of just like he's the reporter, Lois Lane. What do you think?
Actually, I'm at. It's pretty awesome to see that like Superman is the president
Mhm.
because then I didn't read the comic book. I want to know who's the villain. Is the villain still Lex Luthor? Is he trying to become president? Is like it's honestly pretty amazing. And if this film does good, it'd be cool to see the whole multi-universe. They get the Clark like a Clark Kent
Yeah.
Superman too, and then pretty much they meet up or something like that. Like that'd be pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, what we need to do is get on, like we have like Wednesday pull list and stuff like that. Different podcasts that are in our group that are like they read every comic book. I need
Yeah,
we need to have them on for a bit and discuss about some of these things. Like maybe we could get together like a list of comic book questions for them, and like, hey, can you explain Agnes's origin story, Agatha Harkness or whatever from WandaVision, that kind of thing. Because there's certain things like, yeah, I read comic books, but I have a couple that I like that I read every week, and I don't
yeah,
have like an encyclopedic knowledge of all of them. So that's the same
yeah.
thing. I haven't read Calvin Ellis' story, so that's why I ended up pulling the wiki intro for him. So here we go. Calvin Ellis, Kryptonian name Kal-El, also known as Superman, is a Kryptonian president of the United States on a different Earth in the multiverse. On his Earth, he became Superman in addition to being the president. It is likely he's native of Vathlo Island due to his reference to the word Vathlo. He operates from the White House, where Brainiac serves as his personal computer and even covers for him while he does his duties as Superman. So that'd be really cool. Like he's out, he's saving the day, And then you have like
Yeah.
Brainiac back at the place, like almost like hijinks, trying to like, oh, the president's in another meeting or whatever. He's like trying to shuffle things around and stuff, trying to hide him. And it'd be cool to see Brainiac as a good guy because every time he is, it's a very
Yeah.
interesting story. All right, let's move on to our next thing here. DC fans rejoice. We have finally confirmation of a Blue Beetle movie. This is going to be the third Blue Beetle, Jamie Reyes, taking the title. For you guys unfamiliar, Jamie Reyes discovers a scarab, which is like a beetle, and becomes the Blue Beetle battle suit. He took the mantle after the death of Ted Cord. Ted ends up coming back to life because it's comic books, but nevertheless, Jamie Reyes keeps the suit. With the suit, he has superhuman abilities and fights crime. Blue Beetle he's the reason he's so likable to the fans is he's very youthful and he's kind of like wisecracking, kind of like a Spider-Man or Rogue. If you think of like the '90s cartoons version of Rogue, or actually Static Shock. I know we were talking about Static Shock a couple weeks ago, like that as well. These like wisecracking young kids that are superheroes. Um, what do you think about Blue Beetle joining the roster of the DCEU?
Well, one, never seen any Blue Beetle, or I read any Blue Beetle comic
Hmm.
book. Didn't even know that he was a superhero.
Yeah,
I remember like watching Super Smallville, and there was like one episode they brought in Blue Beetle.
yeah,
I was like, "What the hell is this?" Um, it's cool. It's cool that they're bringing lesser known superheroes, making them movies or
hmm,
whatever. Um, Pretty awesome because I'm kind of getting tired of like rebooting Superman,
yeah.
rebooting Batman, rebooting what was it, Wonder Woman next probably since the second film was horrible. Uh, hopefully, hopefully, like you were saying, like he's like useful, kind of like Spider-Man. Hopefully, he's our DC of Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
they make multiple uh franchises of them. Uh, but I don't know enough about Blue Beetle to talk about it.
I read one of his runs when he was with Booster Gold, and usually the two are teamed up, another hero. Um, I think it'd be cool. It's one of those things where you need to show lesser known heroes to the mainstream for it to feel fresh. Because if we see again Clark Kent like just being a reporter, or I mean I'm so tired of seeing Batman's parents getting shot in an alley.
Yeah,
We get it. We don't have to see those again. So let's show fresh and original stories that haven't been touched yet. There's so many. I mean,
there.
less than 1% of superheroes have made it into the feature films. I mean, there's so many out there that you can touch. And so I think we should give him the spotlight. Might as well. This is going to be done by Gareth Dunnett Alacour. He's the one who's going to be writing the script. He's also did the Scarface remake and Miss Bala. We have Zeph Foreman as executive producer and Angel Manuel Soto. He's going to be doing the directing. He also did La Granja, which is really good, and Charm City King. So, if is there another smaller superhero you think deserves, like, especially in DC, that deserves a movie?
Yeah, I have a few.
Okay.
So I was thinking, I feel like Batman Beyond deserves a movie.
Yeah, that's just a slam dunk. Yeah.
He's not lesser, but yeah, he's still a
Well,
known
he
fucking
is. He hasn't been seen anywhere. He is less
yeah,
known to a lot of people. Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking Martian Manhunter to get his own movie.
Oh, I'm fully on board with that. Yeah.
And I was even thinking uh Static Shock
Of
should get
course.
his own movie.
Yeah, that's funny. We were just talking about. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
that's a good one too. That's such a slam dunk. Uh, all those are really good, and I'm hoping Static Shock because Milestone Comics is getting big again. That 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 he has a chance to being on the big screen because he's a really cool character. For me, Doctor Fate. I want Doctor Fate out there. If you guys like Doctor Strange, check out Doctor Fate. They both kind of play that similar role for each of their respective universes. Um, Really great character all around, just a lot of fun. And I like characters that have like that long lineage, kind of like Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Mhm.
That long lineage, and he's similar to that. So check out Doctor Fate for me. But
I
DC
was
has a
thinking
chance. I don't know.
I think they do, and I was thinking today, Joker did really well.
Right?
Why don't they make more villain films?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
good
feel
point.
like DC has a lot of good, villains. Freeze, Penguin,
Yeah.
Two Face. I feel like they could definitely make. They would probably do really good. And I mean, Marvel hasn't done that yet. Like worked on villains, just like
Mhm.
solo villain films. It would
Yeah.
be kind of cool if like DC decided, you know what, fuck it, let's try villains right now.
We have one coming with Black Adam that's, The Rock starring, but that's gonna be more of like a big
Yeah,
action movie. I would like to get more of those grounded movies like Joker, which is where DC has
yeah,
Marvel beat. Like, why are you guys not using that
yeah,
then? The DC
yeah.
Black Label is where they're beating Marvel. And so, yeah, it okay, so we've done this before. We talked about here's our villains that we would want. This is gonna be off the cuff, so heads up on that. But villains that we'd want to give the Joker treatment to. We talked about Batman ones. I said Dr. Freeze at the time. Could you think of non-Batman villains that you'd wanna see get that DC Joker treatment?
Mhm.
I mean, Superman has some pretty good ones.
Yeah, dude.
I know Batman
I was
has all the
thinking,
best villains.
uh, it depends. Brainiac wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
He could definitely do something. Because he's kind of like there's a who's the big villain for Superman? I can't think of it right now.
There's
He's
Darkseid, there's
Dark.
Lex
Yeah, Dark
Luthor.
Side.
Yeah.
Dark Side would be a good one. They would have to recast Lex Luthor because the
Yeah.
last one was horrible.
They did in the
Uh,
show that Superman and Lois, they have a brand new Lex Luthor that I'm like, "Yes, I am down for this."
uh,
It's full on wearing a suit, like a
really?
mecha suit. Yeah, Lex Luthor. It's
Oh
badass.
shoot. Okay,
Yeah. He
that's
looks like he's
awesome.
like Iron Man, but he's a bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like they could definitely make movies a villain
Mhm.
too, and then try to see if that works. That's what I was thinking today.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good one. That is a good one there. There's so many untouched things, especially in DC, like that I think deserve some attention. So we'll have to see. Um, I think Reverse Flash's story is really good. That's where he has to like he idolizes Flash in the future and goes back in time and he messes things up. So you have like this guy who's like fighting his old hero. Like he grew up with a
Mhm.
Flash museum around and he dying a few hundred years ago. And he goes back in time, messes things up, and it's just so wonderful. But yeah. Speaking last DC show we're gonna be talking about, Constantine is getting a series. It's in the works over at HBO Max. J.J. Abrams is producing this as well. Um, it's likely to cross with his League Justice League Dark series that he's got currently in development. This is going to be one of the new HBO series they got coming on to HBO Max, including Peacemaker. That's from Suicide Squad. That's played by John Cena. So John Cena is going to have his own series and the Gotham Police series. So it's like Gotham, but it's gonna be more like Gotham PD hardcore for HBO Max. So that's pretty cool. We have Guy Bolton will be writing this with David Mackenzie set to direct. Bolton is also writing the upcoming Hell or High Water for HBO. So, couple things for you. I kind of think Constantine's like it's just too expensive to make into a series. While I love the Constantine show, he's so magic oriented that the
Mm.
CGI budget's got to be through the roof. Do you think it's wise to make a Constantine series?
I I don't think it's wise to make another Constantine series because the last one, looking at the reviews, a lot of people loved it,
Yeah,
and there's no reason to rework another series unless he wants to change it towards based off a different comic book or whatever the hell rises.
Hellraiser.
Blazer series.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, that would be the only thing, but it's just disappointing to see
Yeah.
this because you got you got so much potential. You could make Zatanna. You could bring back
Yes. Oh man, people who don't know who Zatanna is, she is so freaking important, and people don't know who she is.
yeah.
Like in all the crisis events and all these massive Flashpoint events or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, here comes Zatanna to like do something huge and then just bounce. So she's really cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Zatanna, Swamp Thing,
Yes.
Deadman.
Yes.
Why bother wasting more money on Constantine right now? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it is a lot of money to make another Constantine, for a series.
Yeah.
Make another movie. The movie I thought was really good with Keanu Reeves.
I thought it
Ma-
was too. Yeah. I
Yeah,
really love Matt Ryan, the one that played it in the actual series. I thought he did
yeah.
a good job
Uh,
too.
I heard good things about it. I just never got into the show. But if you had him work on Zatanna or Swamp Thing and see if how he does, with the whole Justice League Dark series, like
Yeah.
he could bring all that, just bring back the Constantine too, just use him for the Dark series.
Hmm.
I think that would be pretty good. And then we don't have to keep getting other reboots of again other shows. I want to see new things. I want to see Santana, Swamp Thing. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's just disappointing. It's like let's reboot. Let's reboot. I'm sick and tired of DC doing that.
Speaking of Zatanna, if you guys aren't familiar with her, one thing that's really unique about her that's just so freaking cool is she's dressed like a straight up magician, like a Vegas
Yeah.
magician, and it's so cool. It's like, who thought of that? That's such a great idea. She's totally underutilized. And if you watch the DC animated films, which is by far the best thing the DC makes, are their animated films. She's in a lot of those, and they really kill it. There's a Justice League Dark and stuff like that. You guys should check those out. Really good. Do you think, the last question, DC oriented for the day, do you think DC should just reboot all of the movies and start over again?
I mean, at this point, uh, I wouldn't reboot Aquaman or
Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Those are really good, but yeah, at this point, I mean, you're already getting rid of my favorite actor for Superman.
I
Him.
love to think that on your fridge you have a picture of Henry Cavill cut out with a heart.
I have it on my other wallpaper.
Yeah. He's
um,
pinned to the ceiling above your bed.
uh-huh.
And you
Honestly,
looked up
like,
right now. You just looked up at it.
I mean,
Oh, that's
come, I'm
great.
thinking right there.
Yeah.
Well, at this
Oh, man.
point, just go ahead, just reboot it, everything else. But they need to work on these little projects, but do like what Marvel's kind of doing. Like they're bringing the movie actors to the series. So they got the Loki, they got Olsen from
Elizabeth
WandaVision.
Olsen.
Yeah, do what they're doing. Find your actors that you're gonna have for the series, but also bring them into the movies. Maybe that might help us
Yeah.
out. Might
Which we
might
might see Marvel
make
doing
it
that.
better.
There's a lot of hints to, actually, it's not even in the notes, but there's a lot of hints that Spider-Man 3, we already know is going to have everybody on there. And they talked about Daredevil being in there. And we didn't report on it or talk about it because it was like, well, it's very rumory. But we
Mhm.
just found out that they're doing a courtroom scene. What a
Yeah,
great way to have Daredevil. That way you
yeah,
just actually have him
definitely.
as, and as the fans, we're like, oh, and it's actually going to be that Daredevil. What a neat little treat. We don't need to see him as Daredevil. It's just cool to see him out there doing his thing. Like if you were to have, um, give me an example. If you had Tony Stark, not necessarily as Iron Man, but you just saw him at like a fundraiser event in the
Yeah,
background of another movie. Like it's just cool to have that level of crossover too. Um, so that the fans are treated, I don't know. At this point, I'm hoping the new Batman's good. I'm excited for that with Robert Pattinson, just because that trailer looks so
yeah.
neat. But I'm
That
good
looks.
with you. I do not want Ezra Miller as my Flash, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think I think they. I honestly, I'm cool with the Flash series guy. What's his
Grant
name?
Gustinson.
Yeah, I'm fine with him being the actual Flash
Yeah.
in the like if they were making a movie, something like that.
You
Or
and me both. I like him a lot. He's
uh,
he's got a good personality.
but I'm happy that they're bringing another producer, JJ Abrams,
Hmm.
and I mean getting like I said, James Gunn was huge too. So
James Gunn
hopefully,
is awesome.
hopefully it starts making DC a little bit better, and hopefully they get a little bit better producers for the other films.
I think the key in the end of the day is they need to find one guy to steer the ship, like they have Kevin Feige at
Yeah,
Marvel, who just runs everything, and everything has to go past him. They don't necessarily have that. They have like a council thing going on. It's like a group of people making choices at DC. Pick one dude. J.J. Abrams, fine. If it's J.J., fine. We'll have a bunch of mystery boxes tucked in every damn movie. Fine. Or if they were to get James Gunn to do every
yeah.
one of their movies, I'm on board. Taika Waititi. Could you imagine if Taika Waititi did every one of their movies? Holy shit. I would buy my tickets ahead of time. We'll have to see.
or
They need
or
somebody to
just
steer it.
or just sell to Disney. Give up. I mean, at this point, I'm just so disappointed every single time.
Ah, Daniel, that's
And
so bad.
I know I'm just disappointed though. There's
I know.
so many better heroes in DC, and they
Yeah.
can't do it, and it's just
It's
frustrating.
so
And
frustrating.
I'm I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah. And again, it's something we've brought up in the past. Batman and Superman, I mean, I'm pretty sure if they got to be very close, anyways, to being off copyright. And of course, they can always change things, extend the copyright. But once like it's like Sherlock Holmes. Look at all the versions of Sherlock Holmes we have. Some I like, some I don't care for. I generally like all of them
Yeah.
because I like Sherlock Holmes. But then we get a bunch of Sherlock Holmes cards. Can you imagine if Batman was done that way? So we get a Wes Anderson version of Batman plus whatever, Quentin Tarantino, and then a horror film with Batman in it. Like, yes, all of those, you know? We'll have to see. I don't know. It's Warner Brothers and DC are just frustrating lately. That's why I stopped reading their comic
Yeah.
books for a little bit, taking a break.
Yeah.
But Donny Cates, guys, over at Marvel. Read up. More Marvel news. We have Spider-Man and Loki release date. Spider-Man, which is now going to be called Spider-Man No Way Home. I like that title.
Oh.
It's going to hit theaters December 17th. Hopefully by December, I would assume by December 17th, we're good to go to theaters. So I'm excited to see the theaters with no delays. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, everything around me.
Oh.
Loki's going to be landing on Disney Plus on June 11th. I'm very excited for the Loki series. That is going to be a weekly series every Friday, much like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is coming up next month. Okay,
They haven't announced what it's a be about, right?
the Loki series?
Yeah.
No, but it sounds like they need people to like, it's like an agency that travels through time, I think. And they're like, oh, hey, Loki, since you're you, we could use your help. Maybe he's doing something like that. I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of just wacky fun through time, which is, if you were to pitch
Oh,
a
okay.
show to me, that's it right there. So, Spider-Man No Way Home. What do you think about that name?
I actually like the name.
Yeah.
I like right when I read that, I was like, "Oh, okay. So he's trapped somewhere, or the other, yeah,
Multiverse.
or the other Spider-Mans are trapped."
Yeah,
Like
and they're
when I
trying to
heard
get
that,
home.
I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited." And I'm hoping I get to see Tobey Maguire back in the suit. That's why I'm like
I honestly think that's
excited
happening.
for.
I'm gonna have to watch those. I'm gonna have to watch those fucking terrible Garfield movies. That's what I'm gonna have to do. So I'm all hyped up
Oh,
and
yeah.
excited for everything.
They weren't bad though. Okay,
I've
I
never
didn't like
seen
it.
those movies, The Amazing
What?
Spider-Mans 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Garfield.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, damn. They weren't bad. I enjoyed it.
yeah. That was a bite the bullet. I was an angry 20-something-year-old that was like, I'm gonna boycott them because I think they should have stuck with Tobey Maguire and like
What
Marvel was
the?
gonna listen to me. Sony and Marvel were gonna listen. Like, oh wait, let's check with Frank and make sure he's okay with this. No, they didn't do that. So
The
Garfield.
third movie for Tobey Maguire was awful.
I
It was
know,
awful.
I know, but I wanted them to stick with it a little bit longer so we can get more Venom. I wanted to like extend the Venom.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They
I
just
agree.
like threw him in there, and I was like, ah, that's such a shame. He deserves his own thing. He's so good,
Yeah.
which we eventually got. But yeah, okay. And then what MCU project? We have so many coming up, and they're all kind of planned out. What MCU project are you looking forward to the most? Loki's pretty high on my list, actually.
Loki, yeah. Oh, sorry. So pretty much, I want to see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No way home. Thor, Love and
Yes,
Thunder.
Love and
Can't wait
Thunder.
for that one.
That's pretty high.
Um, and then Black Panther, the series. I'm excited for that. I
Which
know
series? I'm sorry.
the Black Panther series.
Oh,
I
that's right.
know
Yeah, we
that.
talked about that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be about Wakanda.
I'm kind of hoping it's gonna be good. And
Yeah,
then hopefully they show the next Black Panther, and it's like something about building that character
yeah.
up or something like
I'm
that.
pretty sure it's gonna
That's
be
what I'm hoping.
Shuri. Yeah,
Hopefully that'd be awesome.
I that really would. She would kick ass as a good Black Panther. What's your number
Yeah.
one project you're looking forward to the most?
Number one is Thor. I
Yeah,
love Thor. But I
they.
love the first one
Yeah,
of
the
the
first one
second.
was good. The second
So
one was pretty good. The third one to me was so badass, and one of my most
yeah,
rewatched Marvel movies. I'm down for a new one. For me, I would have to say it's that new Doctor Strange, especially now that we know that Scarlet Witch is going to be there, and I'm putting my money on it now. We're gonna be reviewing all of WandaVision next week too during the 200th episode. Um, I'm putting my money on it now that Doctor Strange comes in and saves the day in WandaVision. So
you think so?
I'm hoping so because we know Paul Bettany said there's gonna be one big cameo coming, and he said that Silver Surfer wasn't it. So I'm hoping it's that. By the way, spoiler alerts if you guys don't know. I mean, honestly, how are you not watching Friday morning as soon as you wake up every day? But every
Yeah,
Friday, but nevertheless, I have been so happy with WandaVision, and we have a gentleman
oh
in
yeah,
our
definitely.
Discord that disagrees, and everybody was like, "What?" Everybody was like, "I'm
Really?
like, hey, everybody has their opinions, guys. Don't all everybody like." Oh my god, the vapors! I faint. There can be a person who doesn't like WandaVision. That's okay. I mean, I'm extremely excited every Friday morning. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
now if it was Mandalorian, I would have a problem. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good, so good. Marvel, I mean, just keep it up, guys. And if you could like
Yeah, definitely.
send some letters to DC showing them how to do things, we would really appreciate it as fans.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be really grand. All right, next up, Avatar franchise is expanding. Nickelodeon is launching an Avatar
Ooh.
studio and plans to expand the entire franchise. So, creators Michael D. Martino and Brian boy, that's hard. Konitsko will be running the studio, which is huge news if you're a true Avatar fan, because these guys have been they were part of the original movie and then they were ignored. The movie sucked, and now they were part of the Netflix series that's currently being in development, the live action Netflix series, and then left because of creative differences. So now we're worried about that project.
Yeah.
But they do the comic books, and if you read the comic books, it feels like you're watching the series. It's just extending the story. It's really cool. The studio's gonna be making content for Paramount Plus, Nickelodeon, theaters, and some third-party platforms. So we'll probably get some help with the Netflix stuff. Currently, you can watch Aang and Korra on Paramount and Netflix. If you guys are familiar about Paramount Plus, by the way, it is CBS All Access. It just got renamed. So if you have CBS All Access, which you should because you're watching a bunch of Star Trek, you already have it. It's called Paramount Plus now. Daniel, okay, do you think animated movies are good in American theaters? Because the first thing we're getting out of the studio is an Avatar movie. So, do you think animated
Uh,
anime would do good in America?
I think it's done good. I think it's done good and it's done bad. It depends on what the movie is. So, like if you're saying Pokemon, I
Yeah.
think generally does pretty good. I went to a Yu-Gi-Oh one movie; it didn't do so good. So it just really depends on the fan base and um, if people are actually gonna see it. I definitely think Avatar coming to the theaters, a lot of people are gonna see it.
I'll be in line.
I think,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I won't be in line because of COVID, but
Well,
I
this will be
definitely
this
be
is an
there.
animated movie. It won't come out till like 2022. It
Oh,
probably
okay.
2023. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If at that point there's no COVID, then definitely I'll be in line. I can't wait. But it does good and does bad. It just depends on what it is. Like I said, Pokemon, you're gonna get a lot of people. Yu-Gi-Oh, probably.
It's hard because I feel like for a movie to be successful in the United States, you have to be able to pull from the four quadrants usually. And do you think people who are not familiar with the Avatar movies would give this movie a shot?
I don't think so.
That's the
But
hard
I
part.
Yeah. But back then when we were watching it, Avatar wasn't as big
Yeah.
till now. Now it's like super big. Everybody's watching it. So I think us being older, we're all gonna see it, and then um, even the newer audience will definitely see it. The younger adults,
It's so
will
funny you
definitely
said
see it.
that. During
But
the announcement of the studio, Michael DiMartino was saying that Avatar is like 10 times more popular now than it was when we were actually airing them. And they
yeah,
chalk a lot of that up to people streaming it and getting the DVDs and stuff and Blu-rays. So yeah, there is a growing fan base to it after, post-mortem. So that's really cool, of
yeah,
course. And then people like me and you that are like telling Squeaks like, "Hey dude, stop what you're doing.
yeah,
Stop going to work
you're
and
gonna
binge
love it.
this." And now he's like a super anime or a super Avatar fanboy. So that's what happens. Um,
Even like Core was really well done. Like
very well
I
done.
loved Core.
Yeah. What kind of story within the Avatar universe do you think they're gonna tell in a movie?
Uh, well, I don't know what they would tell, but I'm like kind of hoping if they like release the first movie, it's like 5 years maybe after the war with Fire Nation.
Mhm.
They're like teenagers. They're still trying to clean up like stragglers of that Fire Nation. Like, um, hoping it's a story like that based off that, and then like uh, just they're actually teenagers, not time jump 75 years. He's gone. No, I don't want to see that. A movie
Well,
of that.
that's
I
what they do
want,
with Korra. Korra was like 60 years
yeah,
after the Avatar.
I want to see that
Yeah.
middle of what happened after. Um, I know Zuko still, uh, well, looks for his mom,
Yeah,
finds
which
out
that's
what
done in the
happened.
comic books. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They could just make those
Uh,
comic books into the movies too.
yeah. I'm really hoping because it's like Avatar Productions or whatever. I'm hoping there's like just multiple shows of Avatar, just like pretty much the way Marvel's doing, like
Mhm.
WandaVision, Loki. I'm hoping there's like blood bending, stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
or like individual projects, and then one main story would be
That would be
amazing.
really cool. Yeah, do individuals and then set up for a crossover. Man, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm on board. You know me. I'd be there for sure. I would like for them to do before Avatar. I would like to see either
Uh,
the start of the war. We had flashbacks to basically the first like the I don't what's his name? I can't remember his name. The Avatar before Aang and Zuko's grandfather fighting it out. We saw that. But I mean, we could get before even that, get the founding of the Kyoshi Warriors or something like that. Because I think the technology wise, I don't want to see any more in the future. I don't want to see them like flying planes as much as I want them to see them with more animal based stuff. And because the animals in Avatar are always fun with these weird crossbreed stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, say we're standing in line for Avatar, which we will be. I want to know, what are you dressing up as? So I'm thinking I'm going as Appa.
oh, what the?
Heck yeah, I'm
I
get.
never thought of that.
I know. I was
Probably.
springing it on you, bro.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be going bald soon. I guess I'll try Aang or the movie Ung.
That is not allowed on this podcast. And
Oh,
so, guys, this is
sorry.
Daniel's last episode of the podcast. He done fucked up. So,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bring me back.
bringing him back. Okay, he's coming back for this one. Here we go. 2 new shows joining Netflix. We have a live action series about Wednesday Adams. That's from the Adams family going to school. So let me read a little tagline they got for you here. Wednesday is the murderous daughter of the macabre Adams family. We will see Wednesday attend Nevermore Academy. So that's probably named after uh,
Hmm.
Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven. This will be the television debut for Tim Burton. So Tim Burton's actually directing this, and I would like to
Well,
see him do a Wednesday Adam project. What are your thoughts on them doing a live action thing all around Wednesday?
that's-
That reaction is exactly it. It's like,
uh,
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I wasn't really like I would watch like Adam Family, like, but I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was a really big fan of the movies,
oh, you were?
but I still don't know if this is going to be any good. Like, it seems crazy.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I honestly, I'm like, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be good at all.
Remind me,
Like,
what's the Netflix series with a key,
Lock and Key.
lock and key? I want those guys to do it though. I think I
Something
trust
like
those
that.
guys to do it. Tim Burton, we'll see. I like Lock and Key to do this. 'Cause
Yeah.
that house, the way they filmed everything in that house, that was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool. That would be cool to show that as like a school kind of thing, that kind of way. Um, eh,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah.
If they actually produced it, yeah, definitely was pretty good. I think the live the last Tim Burton film was Unfortunate Events, correct? With or no?
I think he's done like Big Fish. He's done a lot of like okay movies lately. He hasn't really done anything
Oh,
outstanding since his early 90s
yeah.
days. So it's kind of hard. I mean, Edward Scissorhand was so iconic that he rode that
Mm.
for a really long time. I don't know if he's still got it in him. Hopefully he does. We'll see. A TV show might be nice to change of pace, so we might see something creative out of him that we hadn't seen before. The other thing we have here is an anime project coming from Netflix. It's going to be Dota Dragon's Blood. So this is going to be based off the Dota video game. It's done by the animation house that did Legend of Korra. So Dota as okay, let's start with this. Dota as an anime. Do you think that's going to work?
Uh, I don't think so, but it
Mhm.
depends. I played Dota too. Uh, there is a lot of character background, even in League of Legends. There's character background, and I don't know if people are gonna be like, "Man, I can't wait." Like maybe Dota fans will be excited for it, but I don't think like us that
Yeah.
that don't play that game. will enjoy it. Like even if a League of Legends coming out with the MMO, like that's gonna be kind of bad.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna be good. I mean, look at World of Warcraft. Like they came out with a movie and didn't do so. I don't think.
I enjoyed it as a World of Warcraft fan, but if I wasn't a WoW
Yeah,
fan, I wouldn't get
didn't.
all the little
Yeah.
references, so it wouldn't be as good. Do you think there are any other video games that would make a good anime?
Oh yes, definitely. My favorite game, Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2.
Oh yeah,
I
there
was
you go.
thinking that would be a really good anime to actually watch, join them together, and they even have like Blitzball in that. So like in the series, like he could be um making his team getting better at Blitzball, the sport, which was really fun little mini game in the game. Uh, and then I was thinking Kingdom Hearts hasn't come out with like an actual film. Maybe some with
That would
Kingdom
be
Hearts would
so
be.
hard because somebody has to own. It would have to be from Disney, right?
Yeah,
It would have to
it
be
would
something on
have to be
Disney
from
Plus.
Disney, but
But I like that
it
idea.
would
Shit,
it would
that's a
be
good
kind of
idea.
cool to see something like that.
I'm right now imagining Squeaks' face when he listens to this. You know, he's gonna have to like pull the car over and like get out of his car and walk around it a few times.
That would be awesome. I'm surprised like Disney hasn't actually worked on a film like that yet.
I don't know why they have the assets they need for it. I mean, I'm sure Square Enix would just want their name on it, and then they have Disney Plus, and I would be watching
Yeah,
it. Because when you play Kingdom Hearts 3, it's mostly a series. I mean, it's
yeah,
so
it's
many
mostly a
cutscenes.
series,
That'd be really
and you could
good.
just add so much more, like with the villains and stuff like that. Yeah, I wish Disney would actually work on a project like that. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be
Mm,
like almost like like a series like we would watch like Tailspin back then, something like
yeah.
that. That'll be our new show.
But it would be what I like is the idea of Disney doing an anime, and I can't think of really a Disney anime yet. Have you can you think of anything they've done?
Well, I mean, Disney animated like Little Mermaid,
Well,
like
no, no, no. Not
uh,
animated. I'm saying animes, like
uh
Japanese style anime.
anime. No, I honestly haven't.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to see what they can do with that. Yeah, the Final Fantasy was also good because you could use a lot of these lesser known Final Fantasy stories, not necessarily 7, like everybody's talking about 7 all the time.
Yeah.
But like 10 is a great story. There you go. Boom, right there. I think that's a good idea too. We'll have to see. There's a lot out there, and I've been hearing lately. I was reading an article where they're talking about like video game movies are gonna be huge because
Yeah.
now studios are starting to realize, especially after COVID, when everybody went home and played video games. Yeah, studios are starting to realize how much of a big industry video games are and how much they are a big media. Like Netflix came out a few years ago saying like our biggest competition isn't Hulu or HBO, it's Fortnite. Getting people to stop playing Fortnite and come watch Netflix for a little bit. And I think people are starting to realize that, you know? So we'll have to see. That'll be pretty cool. Matter of fact, on Fortnite, they're doing a short film. Or I think they just finished actually a short film festival within Fortnite where there's a theater. And you go over and you can watch different short film festivals,
That's awesome.
featured. Cool little thing. And like, why not? You know, this is so cool. All right, more video game news here. We have Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 being delayed. Not only that, they're losing the lead developer, Hardsuit Labs, is leaving for the development. Uh, that's a bad sign. When the developer leaves, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is pretty much bad, and he oh
It's
yeah, he's pretty much done with the show. Do you think that they'll continue it without him?
They said they're gonna keep making it. They said they're gonna keep making the game, and they just don't know when it'll come out. I don't think it's. I think they're starting almost from scratch on this one, man. If you're gonna lose, because they're not losing just the lead, they're losing like the lead team. You know, so
Oh,
it's you're having a really you're losing so much. I think we're probably looking at a 2023 game here. I don't think it'll look anything like what we saw at E3 a couple years ago. That trailer.
you don't think so?
I don't think so, man. I think we're missing out on this one.
Honestly, seeing the game, it wasn't really that appealing to me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like. So, am I disappointed about it? No, it's not like a big known game. Like
Mhm.
if it was like something like Resident Evil, yeah, I'd be disappointed because I love Resident Evil franchise, but it wasn't really that. I wasn't a big fan of it.
And neither
Were
was
you?
I.
Did
There are a lot of big fans of it. Scott in our Discord, for example, this was like one of his favorite
oh
games. people
Really?
like that, I mean, people who are fans of the series will be upset. But yeah, personally, it's one of those things I'm just not attached to it. And in general, I'd rather games be done right. I think we've learned after Cyberpunk that delays are better than releasing an incomplete game. And
Yeah.
so it's like, take your time, guys. Make this game right. Same thing with Halo. Halo keeps giving updates on how development's going, and the images we're getting now are spectacular compared to that trailer they released a while back. So it's like, yeah, keep going, guys. We're fine with you guys taking more time, especially with the pandemic. Make this
But
game amazing, like we're expect.
did they say what was the reason for him leaving though? Like, did they say was he
It
just
just sounds like creative differences. Really, it sounded like it
oh,
was.
okay.
Yeah,
That's always like the big issue.
yeah, of
Like
course. That's
like
when it's the worst case
movies.
scenario when
Yeah.
they do that. Yeah,
But then yeah, who's the owner of the
I don't remember
Bloodline?
who's. I don't know if it's like
Oh, okay.
EA or something like that. I'm not sure on that one. Um,
Yeah.
we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
I mean I checked it. I seen it. I seen trailers. Never wanted to play it.
Yeah. It just and there's just so many other good games to play too, but hopefully we'll get some more additional information on this and see what's going on with that and what the projected date will be. That'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, what we're gonna do now, we have some PlayStation news and Nintendo news. We had a state of play and then a Nintendo Direct. So for the state of play, I'm gonna go real fast for the things that were shown off, and then we're gonna see what you're most excited for, Daniel. Okay. First, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is going to be Final Fantasy VII for the PS5. We have Kenya Bridge of Spirits. That's going to be released on PS4 and PS5 on August 24th. Oddworld Soulstorm is going to be getting a release date of April 6th. So that's pretty soon. And a lot of people have been looking forward to Oddworld. That's going to be on PS5 and PS4. There's a multiplayer dodgeball game called Knockout City that's entering into beta, and you guys, I think you can sign up for beta now if I remember correctly. It looks like it's just by visuals wise, it looks like it's a Fortnite Overwatch hybrid with dodgeball. It's hard to explain. It actually looks more like a shooter, but you're just playing dodgeball. Next up, uh, we have Sifu. How would you say that? I think it's Sifu, which is a fighting game. It's like it feels like you're playing an old kung fu movie. You're like fighting through halls and you're like knocking guys away. The combat of this thing looks so silky smooth. I love it. Um, Hyperlight Drifter developer Heart Machines is making Solar Ash, which will be arriving on PS4 and PS5 later this year. We got to see some gameplay from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and man, that is clean. I cannot believe how sharp that looks. Deathloop's trailer gives us a new look at the stylish game from Arcane Studios. Deathloop was going to be a done day one buy for me. I've been waiting for that one for a long time, and it got delayed. So again, it's another one of those things. Just take your time, guys. So Daniel, those were all revealed at the PlayStation State of Play. It's not a lot of big things, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's really not.
It's kind of just kind of mediocre. It was a last minute thing. It felt like a lot of times when they announce a State of Play, they'll do it a couple of days in advance. This was like 1 or 2 days. It was like maybe mostly one day we had. Uh, what are you most looking forward to out of this list?
For out of that list, probably I'd pick Kenna Bridge of Spirits. That
Yeah,
looked really good.
totally new project. Yeah,
Yeah, totally new project. I'm just probably get it on the PS5. You know,
yeah, yeah,
there's no point of getting it on any other because I know it's coming out for Epic Game Store, but I'm planning on getting the new PS5, but the black version of it.
yeah.
It looks so clean. So I was like, I'll probably get it for that, and then probably get Final Fantasy VII finally for the PS5.
I'm debating about grabbing that. I'm debating about grabbing Final Fantasy VII. I've never played it before, and I'm like, if you're gonna play a Final Fantasy game, you probably should
Yeah,
play the most popular. I think probably grab that too. This Knockout City looks so good. You guys got to look at the trailers for that. I think that's gonna be a blast to play. I think it's gonna be one of those that just takes off. This looks like that's gonna be a lot of fun. Sifu was the combat on that was super clean. It looks really good. Uh, but Five Nights at Freddy's the one that stole the show for me. Deathloop, I know I'm gonna get. Like I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, good. So more confirmation, I'm gonna buy that for sure. But Five Nights at Freddy looks so fun. The security breach one. It's already a really great game. It's one of those games where when I'm babysitting, they're like, "Ooh, play the scary game," and I'm like, "All right, let's play some Five Nights at Freddy."
Mhm.
And of course, I'm acting it up. I'm really hamming it up for them when I'm like, "Oh no, they're gonna get me, guys!" And like, they're screaming and it's fun. So a version of that game that actually looks like, oh man, it's gonna scare the shit out of me. I'm excited for that. Um, there was some good little bits there, but yeah, I mean, like I said, Deathloop is the guarantee for me for sure, and then Five Nights at Freddy, I'm gonna buy that as well. And we'll review those two guys. We'll make sure to drop some reviews once those games come out. Uh, Final Fantasy VII. Do you think it is the best Final Fantasy?
No. Me and Scott used to disagree on this. He loved Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
I loved Final Fantasy 10. It was really good. Uh, the only issue was the main character in Final Fantasy 10. His name was Titus. Uh, he was really annoying when he laughed,
Oh, okay. God, that's
and
sore in Kingdom Hearts 3. I just wanted to slap him. But yeah, sorry.
then he would like complain about like stuff. Not complain, but he was just for me
Oh yeah,
and
a little whiny, a little
cry.
bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah. That was pretty much the only issue. But the story I fucking loved, and I played
Yeah.
a lot of Final Fantasy, and I always tell everybody my favorite one was Final Fantasy 10, and it had the talent tree of a lot of people are using these talent trees now in games, especially in the shit, I can't forget I remember the game I just started playing, but it's like little circles and you get to choose which way you want to go in
Oh
the talent
yeah, yeah, I know
tree.
what you're
Yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. There's a lot of like
So
Miles Morales uses that. And this is probably the last one I played that
yeah,
had
so
that.
they're I think the original ones or like not they're
That's a
probably
pretty
not
earlier
the
version
first.
of it, really. Yeah, when
Yeah,
10 came out, it was
so
like what 2008 or something like that. It was a while back.
shoot, it was a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
That was definitely my favorite one.
Hmm. I'm excited for it. We'll have to see. There's a lot of games to be buying out there, and remember to get you guys' free game of the month. Well, actually, I'll bring that up next week or next month, so that you guys know what it is. But free games each month you guys can get with PlayStation. Might as well be grabbing those. One of them was Shadow of War, and I've been streaming that, and people have been enjoying the stream. And I actually lost to a war chief, which was fucking embarrassing because I don't think I've ever have. And I lost to a war chief on stream, and it was just like, okay, that's the end of the stream, guys. I'm gonna go cry in my bedroom for a bit. Ah, God, yeah, it was so bad. But I came back and I murdered him, so it was good on the next stream. Last bit of PlayStation announcements was the VR. It's currently in development, so we have no real like images or anything on it yet. We do know that they're integrating some of the best features from PS4 VR. They're also going to be adding some of the controller upgrades that came with the PS5 into the VR controller. So we'll get like probably haptic touch and stuff like that. It'll be pretty cool. Expect that next year. It's in development right now. Have you played any VR games?
Nope, I don't own any VR. To me, it's I feel like it's more like it's a cool concept for and like it's cool for when you have guests over,
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of gimmicky, right?
Play. But I'm not gonna be. I don't. I'm not planning on having friends over at my house in my room play a video game, a VR game.
Daniel,
So
you
I never
have
bought.
it's important you understand you have friends. I know you're basically saying that you don't have friends, but it's important you
I
understand you do have friends, buddy. It's okay. It's okay.
I do, but I I think it's. I'd rather just play other games online with them
Yeah,
instead of
that's
like,
true.
oh yeah, like it'd be cool if it was like as VR, like as of like Sword Art Online, you put on the gear
Mhm.
and then it's all in your mind and you control with your mind. That would be pretty awesome. But
Yeah, or like
this
the
kind of
Oasis
VR,
from Ready Player One. Yeah.
yeah, this kind of VR, like I'm not. I don't want to get up and stuff like that. Like,
I just love it hit me how lazy that sounded at the last second there. I just like
I
don't want to
mean,
get up.
there is controller play too. I know there's play, but
Yeah.
it's like for me, I don't feel like I'm moving my head all the time,
Yeah,
like doing stuff like that. Like, I mean, like I said, it's cool. It's cool
yeah.
for like when you have a lot of people. I know a lot of streamers do it too. I watch some streamers playing it. It's pretty sick, but I, for me, nah, I don't think it'll be
Yeah.
that good.
The only game I really know, like the reason I'm gonna buy this is basically for Beat Saber because I haven't played Beat Saber yet and I really want to play that. Other than that, I'm just like, okay. I know early on when they were talking about VR, I was like, oh, finally, I can't wait to play like Halo in VR where I'm actually walking around and shooting around corners, but it just is not that yet, and it won't be for a while.
Yeah, it's really not.
Do you think this version of VR will ever become mainstream and successful? Or is it just
No,
gonna be a gimmicky? Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be gimmick. And like I said, until they it, wa- if they convert it to somehow doing the whole Sword on thing or the Ready Player One thing, oh, definitely everybody's gonna be doing that because you just lay in bed and
Yeah.
put on your gear, you're good to go. But
Yeah. Speaking of Sword Art, you were talking to me recently about a new series coming out about Sword Art, or it was new movies?
no, it was a series. It's more like a book series that
Okay.
continues
Oh, yeah,
or
book series, and it has
gives you
2
more
levels
info.
per book.
Yeah, it's like the plan is to have like 2 levels of the tower in the book, and they just want that story to pretty much drag on
Mhm.
because it was just such a good story, and they in the anime they just made it into like 10 episodes. So it
Yeah.
was like you're on level 2, and then all of a sudden you're on floor freaking 30.
Yeah.
So there was just so much stuff that was missing that they decided to make these books. And I read the first book; it was really good. I already got the second and third one, but since I'm reading Midnight Sun, I stopped reading that. But I will be going back. And they're not comic books; they're actually
Actual
books.
books. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to check those out too, because the first half of the first season of Sword Art Online is phenomenal. It's just one
yeah.
of the best animes. And that very first episode that was like the fairy island or whatever it's called, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm done with this. It's
I
a
actually
shame.
enjoy that.
Oh my god, Daniel, your taste has been terrible today. Maybe you don't have friends. No, I'm just kidding. Joking.
No.
All right, last bit, we're talking about some Nintendo stuff. We had a Pokemon announced for Switch. So the 2006's Pokemon Diamond and Pearl are getting remade. The it's still gonna be like a top-down view, but just like really clean. And the combat looks like it's Sword and Shield's version of combat, where it's like behind the character and really, really badass looking. Did you play Diamond and Pearl?
Yes. Yeah, I think I had Diamond. I own
Yeah,
Diamond. But
I
it
think I
wasn't
did
that
Diamond
good. I
too.
did not enjoy it.
Oh, really? I liked him a lot. Yeah. What did you like about it?
Just the Pokemon.
Just that
Just the
region.
look of yeah, just that region.
Yeah, us old dogs. It's hard to get used to not being in
Yeah.
console region. But yeah, I
Very
did
hard.
like it a lot. It was actually I think one of the ones I played multiple times. Um, so I probably will pick this up. The next thing we had was Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it's also in the Sinnoh region, so it's the same as the Diamond and Pearl. It's an open world you capture by throwing balls at Pokemon, and it did show some battles. It feels like it's in super early alpha though, because we saw like no text on the screen and
Yeah.
nothing, no HUD even. What do you think this is?
I I think it's a potential MMO
Yeah.
based game that you'll be able to see other people online, battle them out, which is pretty awesome if it is that.
Mhm.
I wasn't too happy about the whole throwing the Pokeball thing. Like I was like, that's kind of
That
whatever.
yeah, they were like would sneak up on Pokemon and then throw the ball, but that kind of feels like I like the idea of you have to like weaken them first, or otherwise, what's the big deal?
Yeah, because then you see like them battling. So it's like, are they battling just other people or because then it's I feel like it's like that Pokemon Go. You're just throwing the Pokeball and it's
Mhm.
like, I'm hoping it's like an MMO, and I hope they kind of restructure it to make it so that you fight before
Yeah,
something like that. But we just don't know. They didn't show us enough, and but I am excited for it. Hopefully, it is an MMO because everybody's been waiting for a Pokemon MMO.
yeah. I actually think it's gonna be a lot more like Zelda Breath of the Wild, and so it looks like that, but just like better graphics in Breath of the Wild, a little
Yeah,
sharper, less dreamful kind of thing. But yeah, hopefully it's something good. I mean, it's a Pokemon game. People are gonna buy it, and we'll see how it is. I'll probably buy both. I'm definitely buying the Pokemon Diamond remake because I really enjoyed them. Uh, so what is your favorite Pokemon game that's not red, blue, or yellow?
okay. I so my favorite one was other than those three.
Right,
Was
right.
Gold.
Gold.
I really
Okay.
like Gold
I went
because they
silver for
added
that
the.
tier. Yeah.
I went Gold, then I went Silver.
Yeah.
Uh, I like how they added the whole Pokemon breeding thing,
Hmm.
egg thing concept. It was honestly a really good game. My favorite, like one of my favorite Pokemon were the cows, the milk
Yeah.
drink.
Was it I think
I was
his name
just a
was
dairy
wasn't it like
guy.
Milk Tank? Milk Tank? I
Milk
think it was
tank,
a
yeah, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I love
Those are
that
cute as hell.
Pokemon game.
Yeah.
That one was my favorite.
I like those I like the legendaries. Catching the legendaries in this game was hard because you'd have to, like, track them on the map, and they would, like, move from place to place, so you have to,
Yeah.
like, intercept them. Was really cool. Those were good. Those came out when I was in high school, and, man, I used to, like, play the shit out of those during lunch in the band room. You know how it is when you're a geek back in the day. You geeks
Oh,
nowadays have it so much easier than us.
I used to play those all the time. I
Yeah.
loved them. But then the new stuff like XY and stuff like that, I was just like, "What are you guys doing?
I
Make
played all those too.
more." Yeah, but just go back,
Yeah.
make more Kanto?
Kanto is the original region.
Yeah, Kanto, add more stuff to it, you
Yeah.
know? You don't have to like that story's done, you go back,
Yeah.
add more.
Yeah, I one thing I'm really looking forward to is the original style of games because I like that 2D down or
Yeah.
not. I mean, like top down look. That coming to the Switch, I'm really excited for because if that works, if this sells well, they'll do all the regions. There's no reason they wouldn't, and
Yeah.
of course the original. And that I think would be the ticket. I'd be so far into that. Shield and Sword were really good, but that's where I'm at. I really like that top down look. All right, more Nintendo news. Splatoon 3 is coming in 2022. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Remaster is coming. We have a new Star Wars game that's going to be joining Switch. It's called Star Wars Hunters. It's going to be exclusive for the Switch. We have Mario Golf Super Rush. About time we have a new Mario Golf game. Fall Guys is joining Switch, which seems like it should have launched on Switch. It just feels like one of those games. We have Pyra and Mithra joining from Xenoblade. They're going to be joining Smash Brothers. And it's weird because you actually choose like Pyra, and then she has an ability to swap out with Mithra. So it's actually like one character, but it's two. A little weird there. Okay, Daniel. So I got questions for you here. Who do you think should be the next one to be joining Smash Brothers? They're definitely leaning into these like kind of like Japanese anime type games.
Yeah.
Seems like with Xenoblade and stuff like that. Who do you think should be joining next?
I I don't know if it's able to, but it'd be cool to add like a Star Wars character.
Oh, that's a good idea. That'd be. Oh, I'm sure Star Wars and them could come to a deal. Who do you think should join?
I think Yoda. Yoda would be dope.
He's the right
Finally,
size for that dude. Oh,
I
and the
know
saber would look
Yoda's
so good.
fucking dope.
That lightsaber
Uh,
combat would be a lot of fun. And then like just like a force push off the side.
yeah,
That's really good.
that'd be pretty awesome. That's the only one I was really thinking of. Well, I have too many other ones.
Him and Chewbacca. I want Chewbacca. I'll take Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Yeah,
Uh,
he'd be cool because then he would have that crossbow that he keeps using as like his gun, and he would be like a slower version of Captain Fox, like
mm,
of Star Fox, and where he's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just slower version of that would be really cool. How heavy
I mean,
hitter
they could
guy.
also just add a Mandalorian to
If they want to like sell
it.
all copies of the game, add Mando to it,
Yeah.
and then like
Yep.
his specials, he brings out Baby Yoda to like crush somebody. Oh,
Oh, baby Yoda.
I love Mandalorian. Have you played Mario Golf in the past?
No, I have not.
It's a lot of fun. It's probably my favorite golf game. I would have to say
Really?
it's really good. Yeah, it was really really fun. Um, I'm excited for that. Mario Tennis was really good. When they do these sports games, they last a really long time. It's not like you're buying a Madden every year. You buy one and it lasts for like 5 years, and it's really good for when you have friends coming over. Which the Switch is
Yeah.
like tailor made for when your friends come over, so it's really good. Okay, and the last thing here is what do you expect? What do you want out of a Star Wars game, a new Star Wars game that would work on the Switch? Because the Switch is less powerful than, say, like a big, sprawling world.
Oh.
It's less powerful. So, what would you want out of a Star Wars game coming to the Switch?
I didn't know it was going on onto the Switch. I
What do you,
bring
what,
back the whole thing of Mandalorian game. I
yeah.
want my Mandalorian game to be built. I don't
When,
care.
quick question. When did you finish watching Mandalorian? Because it feels like you finished watching it right before this recording.
No, I think last month.
You're like high on Mando right now. That's why I was thinking, like, he probably just finished
No,
watching
no, no,
Mando.
no, no. No, I actually when I was actually doing my notes for this, I was
Yeah.
thinking, man, the Star Wars note. I don't know if you ever sent it to EA or whatever, but
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars like Mandalorian game. That would be awesome. The open world,
Yeah.
that you're doing quests, get better armor because that's the better thing, and
Hmm.
then you get to build your ship, fight other people online.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be
and you're just like
amazing.
finding new towns and stuff like that, and they have like little
Yeah,
like side quests you'd help them out with and be helpful and stuff.
that'd be
Tailor made.
awesome.
Yeah. I think that's good. I would like to see what is it called? That old Commando game they had was really good back in the day. Where you're like a squad of 4 and just have you like going in doing missions. This Hunter game, Star Wars Hunters, I'm a little worried it's going to be kind of just like a cheesy Fortnite clone or
Mhm.
something like that. It's gonna sounds like it's gonna be all about bounty hunters. Maybe you go in and you're doing missions. It'd be cool if it was like Hitman. Then I'm definitely on board with that. I don't know. To me, the thing I'm most excited here is going to be Splatoon 3, though. I haven't played much Splatoon. Usually it's whatever I'm hanging out with Squeaks because he's a big Splatoon head. So I think that's what they're called. And so I'm excited to try that out. Have you played Splatoon at all?
Never.
Yeah, it's a fun. I'm basically a shooter, but with like the graffiti mode from Tony Hawk added in. So it's a lot of it's a blast. But yeah, all right, guys, that is it for our news this week. We hope you all have a good week. Remember, next week is our 200th episode. So drop us off on social media. Drop in your favorite Geek Freaks episode. Top 5 back in the day. Let us know. Any comments you have, write and reviews on Apple. We'll read those on the podcast next week, and that should be a lot of fun. And come on by in Discord, and you can chat with Daniel all day. Right, Daniel?
Oh, yep, definitely.
Okay, there we go. See, Daniel's offering to give you mentoring advice, so that's really cool. He'll teach you how to beat Call of Duty. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye.